why you need techniques in your sales closing process. Guys, today I'm over here in Bali. We just finished up the VIP branding retreat. We've got all the people coming down and getting ready for a big day to wrap up. And I also have with me my good friend here, Mr. Brian Swan, the Unstoppable Surfer, the father of the Unstoppable family. Now, Brian.
Yes.
A lot of people go out there and they think, oh, I'm just going to do sales and it's just going to work. Why do you believe you need to have techniques in a sales process?
Well, you know what? This goes way back when I was in the corporate world 20 years ago, and the way that I distinguished myself amongst my peers of 30 others is that I actually started taking sales training. And there is a system and an approach to it. And I always was able to be up into the 1, 2, or 3 because it is a system, techniques, and you're asking one of the biggest things, asking the right questions.
If you were to give the guys just one of the questions that you use, what's one cool one that you always like, oh, I love using this technique or this question?
This is the most beautiful one. It's not thinking of the question, it's like listening to what they say, and then it's not just paraphrasing, you're not parodying them, but bringing another question. It's peeling the layers away from what they said and like, can you tell me more? Oh, great. Can you define that? And then you get down to the core root of it.
Perfect. That is great feedback. Thank you. I'm just going to walk and show you guys outside. Thank you, Mr. Brian, sir. So guys, with everything, you need to have a technique or a process. Now, one of the things that you need to think about is there's different angles and different levels to your sales conversation, right? So, let me just get out here and give you guys a bit of the view. Now, thinking about it's a little bit bright there for you guys, right? Thinking about your sales process, you have opening, then you have the central where you're getting a lot of information, and then you have what people would call the closing questions, right? So, if you have these 3 different levels, you need different techniques and different strategies as you go through each one, right? So as you go through each one, you need a different aspect, you need a different technique. So at the very beginning, just adjust me down here. At the very beginning, you need those opening questions. You need to be able to find out and ask and use the techniques of rapport building. You need to make sure that they understand that you can help them, how you can help them, really delve into the relationship with them and how you're going to help them moving forward, right? So you need to identify and ask them, where are you at the moment? Where do you want to get to? What are your hopes, dreams, aspirations? And really delve into the why, like Brian mentioned before. You want to delve in and identify why is that important to them, right? Because it doesn't really matter what we have if we think it's important. And a great strategy is to ask why 3 times. I want to make more money. Why do you want to make more money? For my kids. Why do you want to make more money for your kids? Well, I want to make more money for my kids so that I can put them into a private school. Okay, cool. That's a little bit more precise than I just want to make more money, right? You can even go deeper on that again. So you want to start off with asking those questions and identifying exactly what it is for them that is most important. And then find out, where they're at right now. A lot of people would like to inflate or not give really good information on what's going on for them right now. And what we want to do is identify and go, okay, cool, we understand where you're at, and let's not sugarcoat anything, right? And a great technique that I like to use is asking, going, look, we're going to start off here. We're going to be talking about a lot of personalized things. Do I have your permission? Like, if I hear what I think is a little bit of BS, a little bit of rubbish, is it okay if I call you out on that? And at the very beginning of the call, they'll be like, yeah, that's cool. So then when I get their permission, it's like, hey, you gave me permission to call BS on you, right? You gave me permission to say, hey, you're not actually living up to what it is that you were saying just before. So you can really delve in and go, look, hey, it's an open realm here. This is, I'm not using this against you or anything like that. I just want to find out where you're at so we can see what you need to be able to identify to go forward and move forward for your business, for your personal life, whatever it is, depending on who you're talking to, right? So that's the very beginning. You want to have that. Now in the middle, again, you need to reiterate and identify their goals, and you also need to give them an aha or a breakthrough, right? You need to show them what's possible. So a lot of the times when I'm working with people, my mentors have taught me, and I work with them and I talk about like their niche and then also their offers are really what I talk about, because most of the time they suck. Their niche sucks or their offer sucks. They're the 2 things that I like to focus on and give them a breakthrough around who they could target, how they could target them. So you need to identify first off what's generally the area they need a breakthrough in, and how can you give them that? How can you give them a realization? So once they go through that, they're going to be like, oh damn, right? Oh damn, this person really, really knows his stuff. And once you start to identify a little bit of this stuff, I think it's called the golden question, right? So a guy, I believe it's, what's his name? Big coaching guy, I forgot his name off the top of my head. But they call it the golden question, right? And the golden question is, if we would step out, in 12 months' time, we're sitting together in Bali, and we've had an amazing journey together over the last 12 months, and we're cheersing and sipping on a bintang. What would have had to have happened for you to feel tremendous about the last 12 months? What would have happened? And then they go through and they talk through everything, and they're really future-pacing themselves of what the outcome that they're going to get, right? What the outcome is going to be at the end of the day for them. So as you go through that process, you're also helping them future-pacing on, cool, what could it be like if they did work with you? What could it be like if they chose to work with you and really, really take their business or their life to the next level? You get that golden question. But yes, the coaching greats are the people who, I always forget his name, strategic coach. I think it's Dan something, forget. Now, lastly, we're coming in towards the end, we're coming in towards the closing section. What we really want to do then is we want to identify exactly what it is that they want to do and give them options, right? Because a lot of the time what people do is they don't give people the options. They don't go, hey, here's what you can do now. Here's what you can do next. They don't ask for the sale. The biggest technique in sales is going, hey, did you want to pay for that with a Visa or MasterCard? Did you want to pay for that? Did you want to get started? Asking that question. However, you don't just ask it off the bat. I like to identify, and this is again talking with my sales mentors, identifying the triplicates. Being like, we normally have people that are like this, or this. We normally have people who want to go ahead, don't want to go ahead, etc. Identifying yourself. Are you a 1, 2, or 3? And letting people answer. That's the biggest thing that people do in sales calls incorrectly when they're looking at their sales technique, is they answer the questions for people. If you ask people to do maths and go, cool, if you're going to make $3,000 a month over 12 months, how much is that? Let them calculate, let them think about it, let them get involved in what's going on for their sales process, right? Because if you try and give everything to them, at the end of the day, they're not going to move ahead with you because you're not allowing them to elicit the information from themselves. We all believe that we're the smartest and the best, right? It helps a lot more if I come up with it versus if you tell me to come up with it, right? So you get me to do the maths at the end. It's like, cool, the way that I see it, there's two paths. We can go up towards the outcome that you want to have, or where your kid's in a private school and it's amazing, or we can go the other way. We can go the other way where it's actually not that great and the outcome is not going to be what we wanted. You choose. Did you want to go down path A or down path B? And you have to be willing to sit in silence. Why do I say sit in silence? Because people always need to have the need to fill the void, have a need to feel when there's a little moment of silence. They go, hang on, I need to jump in. Hang on, I need to make sure that I'm talking now. No, just be quiet. Did you want to go down path A or path B? Shh, be quiet. They choose. All you need to do is incite them into making a decision. If you do that, you'll be tremendously successful, right? That's all that you need to do. If you do that, job done. And then you go, cool. If they want to start with you, great. Did you want to use a Visa or MasterCard? Very simple, very easy, almost effortless, if you will, if you follow that process and if you go through that. So guys, these are the sales techniques that I want you to go out there, utilize in your sales process, and come back, let us know, drop down a message and incite me on how everything's been going for you. I'd love to hear and find out. If you like, subscribe so you get these videos first before anyone else. Until next time, adios, I'll see you soon.